Hello. Maybe you have been wondering what Medicaid waivers are and want to check them out. Welcome to the Arc of Virginia's very quick introduction to Medicaid waiver programs for people with developmental disabilities. The Arc of Virginia is a state chapter of the Arc of the United States, the nation's oldest and largest organization of and for the people with developmental disabilities and their families. The ARC's mission is to promote and protect the human rights of people with or at risk of developmental disabilities and actively support their full inclusion and participation in the community throughout their lifetime. We will touch on the what and why of Medicaid waivers. Today, we will be discussing the Commonwealth Coordinated Care Plus waiver, which we will refer to as the CCC Plus waiver in this presentation. We will also be discussing the Developmental Disability waiver, which we will refer to as the DD waiver. We will also briefly discuss waiver services under these two programs, eligibility criteria, and where you can look for more information and help. A Medicaid waiver is a system of support for people with disabilities of all ages with long-term care needs so they can live in the community of their choice rather than an institution, such as a nursing home or hospital-like environment. Waivers have a menu of numerous services and supports that are wide-ranging. They include personal care, respite, residential, supported employment, assistive technology, and more. Waivers are the only public funding for long-term disability supports. For example, when a child leaves the public school system, there are no other publicly funded services that your child is automatically entitled to. It's important to plan now and know what supports may be needed currently or in the future that are only available through the Medicaid waiver. There are two Medicaid waiver programs used by people with disabilities. They are the Developmental Disability Waiver, or the DD waiver for short, and the CCC Plus waiver programs. Let's compare these two waivers. For the DD waiver, a person must have a developmental disability diagnosis, or if they are very young, they must have conditions that put them at risk for a developmental disability. The DD waiver has 32 services that include supports for home, community, medical, and work. The DD waiver has a large need-based waiting list. It is operated by the local community service board. For the CCC Plus waiver, a person must have a disability diagnosis. It does not have to be a developmental diagnosis, and they must have a medical need. The CCC Plus waiver has fewer services. It has 9 services that are more focused on supports in the home, nursing, and self-care. No work or residential or skill building services in the CCC Plus waiver. CCC Plus doesn't have a waiting list and is operated by the local health and social services departments. To be eligible for either waiver, there are 3 areas that a person must meet to be eligible. These criteria are diagnostic, functional, and financial criteria. For the DD waiver, the person of any age must have a chronic disability that occurred before the age of 22. A sole diagnosis of mental illness does not qualify. A person may have a mental illness, but must have another disability as well. A few examples of developmental disabilities include cerebral palsy, autism, intellectual disability, and epilepsy. The person will need or will likely need lifelong or extended planned services. The person also has substantial limitations in 3 or more areas of life compared to another person of similar age without a disability. For the CCC plus diagnostic criteria, a person of any age must have a disability. Please note, for this waiver, it does not have to be a developmental diagnosis or be age 65 plus. Mental illness does not qualify as a disability for this waiver. A person may have mental illness, but they would need to have another disability. For this waiver, the person must meet the level of care for a nursing facility, and they must have a medical need. A person's functional needs are assessed by determining the level of help or assistance needed, whether it is from another person or from a mechanical or technological system. With the DD waiver, a person is assessed in 8 different areas that include health, personal care, motor skills, behavior, communication, learning skills, community living, and self-direction. A person must need help in several of those areas, but not all 8. For the DD waiver, the person must also be at risk of placement in an intermediate care facility for people with intellectual disability. With the CCC plus waiver, fewer areas are assessed, and a person must need help in several, but not all areas of medication administration, activities of daily living, mobility, behavior and orientation, and joint motion. For the CCC plus waiver, a person must be at risk of nursing facility placement. The financial criteria is the same for both waiver programs. Many people think that for Medicaid waivers, parent-family income is considered. That is not true. Parent-family income never counts. There is no resource limit for children. If you are interested in getting a screening for a waiver, the ARC of Virginia strongly encourages you to learn more about the waiver programs. Before you request a screening, be sure to learn more about the screening processes. Advanced preparation is very important. If you would like or need more information, please check out our website on Medicaid waivers. Contact the ARC of Virginia Individual Consultation and Training through email at info@thearcofvirginia.org. We also are on Facebook under the ARC of Virginia, and please feel free to call us at 804-649-8481, extension 104. Thank you.